So, guys, we're back to the Passage 3 this time, and it's talking about some sort of artificial artist. So I believe that this is related somehow to an AI making of music, or maybe some sort. I'm sorry, not a music, but a visual art. So yeah, in order to basically get through these kinds of questions, you have to understand that the order. So the multiple choice questions, they come in order. So once you find the first one over to the I mean, from the very first part of the paragraph, it's very necessary to understand. I mean, not really necessarily unnecessary, but you can understand that the second question might come right next to it. However, when it comes to sentence completion, so not sentence completion, but sentence endings, it's really it's also another key features that you just find the first one. These questions, they also come in order, and yes or no given questions come in order as well. So yeah, pretty much all of them come in order. So what we have to do right now is the first suggesting about a computer produced work in the first paragraph, and the other one is Gerard Vigans. So the first paragraph, basically, what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna give it a paragraph. I mean, a bracket and say number 27 because the question will come from this paragraph. So yeah, this is the one I'm gonna do here. And Durand Wiggins comes from very next paragraph, as you can see. So yeah, over here, and I'm gonna give it another bracket. So I'm just gonna say 28. There we go. And what's the key difference of Aaron of Painting Fool? So Aaron and Painting Fool, we have something Aaron of here, but as you can see, two things. Unlike earlier, key difference. Okay, so we have a key difference. So the first thing is like key difference is already here. Unlike, the word unlike means key difference. So there we go, guys. So I just wanna quit this thing. Okay, my sister. All right. Painting Aaron and Painting Fool. There we go, guys. So the answer will come over here, 29. Right, so there we go. What does the Simon Colton make in the fourth paragraph? So here, one, two, three, four. Fourth paragraph, so that means it's going to be number 29 and number 30. So 34, 31. The writer refers to the paintings of chair as an example of, so I think writing paintings of a chair. Do we have a paintings of a chair? Yes, we have a paintings of a chair. There we go. So I think this is going to become 30, 29, 30, and 31. So there we go. And moreover, so what we have, Moffat's research, and we have more than that. Other than that, we have Moffat over here. So we're going to give it a number 39. All right. So I don't necessarily always do the same when I don't go through this approach. This is a very practical approach for you guys, and in the exams you don't necessarily have to do that. But however, I mean, if you can, it's really easy to understand. I mean, it's really easy rather than complicated, because once you know the locations of the answers, the only thing that is left is to comprehend them. And so yeah. So what is the writer suggesting about computer produced works in the first paragraph? So the painting tool is one of the growing number of computer programs which, so the makers claim, possess creative talents. So okay, classical music by an artificial composer has had audiences enraptured and even tricked them into believing a human was behind the score. So enraptured means so enraptured means they so this classical music that was made by an AI made humans very surprised and even tricked them that it was the person that who made the music. Artworks painted by a robot have sold for thousands of dollars and been hung in prestigious galleries. And software has been built which creates art that could not have been imagined by the programmer. So the answer, people acceptance of them can vary considerably. Um, No, it doesn't really. Computer produced works of something doesn't really vary considerably because people do not understand. They believe that it's a human, so that's why the first answer is going to be removed. A great deal of progress has already been attained in this field. A great deal of progress. A great deal of progress have been made I think that is probably the answer. Growing number of computer programs, a great deal of progress. Something like maybe like that. However, see, they have had more success in some artistic genres. No, there's no artistic genres. The advances are not as significant as the public believes them to be. No, the only answers left is paragraph. I mean, the answer option B. According to the journal, because why are many people worried about computer art? Human beings are the only species to perform sophisticated creative acts regularly. If we can't break this process down into computer code, where does that leave human creativity? This is a question at the very core of humanity. This is the very core of the humanity means it's kind of prioritized. It's the very first question that needs to be answered. A computational creativity research at Goldsmiths, Gerard Wiggins, University of London. It scares a lot of people. They are worried that it is taking something special away from what it means to be human. So this is the option here. So yeah, has already been attained in this field. We have done that, but here it is aesthetically inferior to human. Aesthetically inferior. It's kind of not really dangerous, but it's like something. It's taking away something. So this paragraph A is going to be. I mean, option A. I keep on saying paragraph. It may ultimately supersede human art. No, it's not ultimately finally it's gonna take away human capability. I don't think overall is gonna happen in terms of my imagination, but however, also it's not mentioned in the second paragraph according to Joran Wiggins. It undermines fundamental human equality. It will lead to a deterioration of human ability. It undermines a fundamental human quality. It will lead to a deterioration of human. No, it will not lead to any deterioration. Deteriorate means to a decline, but they're worried that it is taking something special away from what it means to be human. That undermines a fundamental human quality. Undermines a fundamental human quality. Uh, basically means kind of worried, means scared, right? So yeah, it undermines a fundamental human quality. Fundamental human quality means what it means to be human. What it means to be human is what it means to be human means fundamental human quality. What is the key difference between Aaron and painting full? So to some extent, we are all familiar with computerized art. The question is, where does the work of the artist stop and the creativity of the work computer begin? Consider one of the oldest machine artists, Aaron, a robot that has had paintings exhibited in London's Tate Modern and the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. Aaron can pick up a paintbrush and paint on canvas on its own. Impressive, perhaps, but it is still a little more than a tool to realize the programmer's own creative ideas. So there's nothing about the comparison there. I mean, like contrasting. Simon Colton, the designer of the painting Fool, I'm going to highlight that in advance. The designer of the painting Fool is keen to make sure his creation doesn't attract the same criticism. Unlike earlier artists such as Aaron and Painting Fool, only needs minimal direction and can come up with its own concept by going online for material. The software runs its own web searches and trawls through social media sites. Okay, so its programs background, public response to its work, its source of subject matter. Yep, it's gonna be paragraph. I mean, option C. Why do I keep on saying paragraph? I don't understand that. It seems like I like that word. Okay. The source of a subject matter means it runs its own web searches and trawls through social media sites. Source of its subject matter. So it's like subject matter. Subject matter means you know it does its own searches. So yeah, there we go. Runs its own web searches is the highlighted. What does the summon call to make in the fourth paragraph? So as we can see, fourth paragraph. It is now beginning to display kind of imagination too, creating pictures from scratch from the beginning. One of its original works in a series of fuzzy landscapes depicting trees and skies. While some might say they have a mechanical look, Colton argues that such reactions arise from people's double standards towards software produced and human produced arts. So the word double standards means they view two things. That means they view computers art as they view like they accept computers art and art that is made by a computer in a different way and an art made by a human in a very different way. So there's two differences. So that's which is unfair. Double standards is not is like kind of unfair. So what point does the Simon Colton make in the fourth paragraph is software produced art is often dismissed as a childish and simplistic. No, that's not the correct option. Whoops, I'm gonna highlight that. Uh, the same concepts of creativity should not be applied to all forms. It is reasonable to accept the machine. People tend to judge computer art and human art according to different criteria. So basically, question number 30 is going to be D. Different criteria. Different criteria means. Hold on, guys. Let me just actually remove these answers. Uh, People tend to judge computer art and human art according to different criteria means Colton argues that such reactions arise from people's double standards towards software produced and human produced art. As I mentioned before, double standards means you think of the same in a very different way. I mean, not of the same, but you think one of you think about something in that way and another thing in another way. So yeah, the writer refers to the paintings of a chair as an example of computer, which so after all, he says, consider that the painting full painted the landscapes without referring to a photo. If a child if a child painted a new scene from its head, you'd say it has a certain level of imagination, he points out. The same should be true of a machine. Software bugs can also lead to unexpected results. Okay, some of the paintings of a chair came out in black and white thanks to a technical glitch. This gives the work an eerie, ghost-like quality. So, like human artists like the renowned Ellsworth Kelly are lauded for limiting their color palette. So, why should computers be any different? Achieves a particularly striking effect. Probably that. Exhibits a certain level of genuine artistic skill. No, it does not, because he says that I'm just gonna give this the answer as number one as number A because exhibits first of all the option B exhibits a certain level of genuine artistic skill. No, computers they don't come with it's not saying about talking about very genuine artistic skill. Or genuine means kind of natural thing that only a human can possess, but not a computer. So certain level of genuine artistic skill means, I mean, probably not the answer because it says thanks to a technical glitch. There we go. Thanks to a technical glitch. So closely resembles that of a well-known artist. No, it doesn't. Humans like it doesn't resemble. It doesn't copy that. So highlights the technical limitations of the software. There's no limitations, but actually gives a technical glitch, a bug. A software bug can lead to unexpected results. An expected result can be something that is good or bad. We don't know about that. So Simon Colton said it is important to consider the long-term view then, so something like that. Simon Colton, what do we have? Researchers like Colton don't believe it is so. It is important to consider the long-term view then. Simon Colton don't believe it is right to measure machine creativity directly to that of human who have had millennia to develop our skills. Others, though, are fascinated. So, what does this say? What are the options? Okay. Others, though, are fascinated by the prospect that a computer might create something as original and subtle as our best artists. So far, only one has come close. Says it is important to consider the long-term view, then, then computer, what? Then generating work that was virtually indistinguishable from that of humans? No. It is right to measure machine creativity directly to that of humans. To that of means a comparison. So so I think that's going to be option D is going to be the answer here. I'm going to remove it. So yeah. Now David Cope's EMI software surprised by people by composer David Cope invented a program called Experiments in Musical Intelligence or EMI. Not only did EMI create compositions in Cope's style, but also that of the most revered classical composers, including Bach, Chopin, and Mozart. Audiences were moved to tears, and EMI even fooled classical music experts into thinking they were hearing genuine Bach or Bach. I don't know how to pronounce that. So generating, knowing whether it was work, no, producing work entirely dependent on blah, 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 revealing technical details of the persuading people to appreciate the computer art, discovering that it was subject of computer program. Uh, surprised. The word surprised is moved to tears. It's a very good paraphrase, but I'm not gonna lie. So, what is the option? Generating work that was virtually indistinguishable. Oh, yes, 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 yes. So, virtually indistinguishable. We're gonna remove that. Virtually indistinguishable. Indistinguishable means doesn't cannot be understood by the cannot be understood of the difference. So that means audiences were moved to tears and even fooled classical music experts into thinking they were hearing genuine Bach or Bach or Bach. I don't know that. Gerard Vegans criticized Cope for not something. Okay. Not everyone was impressed, however. Some, such as Vegans, have blasted Cope's work as pseudoscience. Pseudoscience means fake science, and condemned him for his deliberately vague explanation of how the software worked. Meanwhile, Douglas Hofstadter of Indiana University said EMI created replicas which still rely completely on the original artist's creative impulses. When the audience found out the truth, they were often outraged with Cope, angry with Cope, and one musical lover even tried to punch him. Amid such controversy, Cope destroyed EMI's vital databases. Rodriguez criticized, condemned. So, condemned. Condemned, black. Condemned means, well, there we go. Knowing whether it was the work of humans or work, no. Producing work entirely depend on imagination, revealing its technical details. So, Gerard Vickers criticized Cope for not discovering it was product of a computer program, persuading the people to appreciate the computer work of art. Um, no, revealing the technical details. For not revealing the technical details of his program. Yes, that's gonna be the option, I guess. Because because he said that he condemned for his deliberately vague explanations. I mean, vague explanations how the software works means vague means it's very like a very small or very not complete explanation. So he did not talk about the complete the technical details. Now, Douglas Hofstadter claimed that EMI was what created replicas which still rely completely on the original artist's creative impulses, knowing whether it was the work of human works of art. Um, no, producing work entirely dependent on the imagination. So producing work entirely dependent on the imagination of his creator, which rely completely on the original artist's creative impulses. Yes, see, very kind of interesting way to paraphrase things here. So audiences who had listened to my music became very angry after discovering that it was the product of a computer program. Obvious answer G. They said that when audiences found the truth, they were often outraged with Cope, and one music lover even tried to punch him. So yeah, that's the G. The participants of David Moffat's study had access to music without actually remove that. So without what? Without what? What is it without? David Moffat's study. I think it's over here, right? 2027. But do we have David Moffat before that? Where's David Moffat? No, we don't have David Moffat. I think it's over here only. Why did so many people love the music yet recoil when they discovered how it was composed? The study by computer scientist David Moffat of Glasgow Caledonian University provides a clue. Provides a clue means it gives a hint. He asked both expert musicians and non-experts to assess six compositions. The participants were told beforehand whether the tunes were composed by humans or computers, but were asked to guess and then rate how much they liked each one. People who thought the composer was a computer tended to dislike the pieces more than those who believed it was human. This was true even among the experts, who might have been expected to be more objective in their analysis. Analyzes. Um, knowing whether it was the work of humans or without knowing whether it was persuading the public to appreciate the human. No, it was not. It didn't persuade. It actually without knowing whether it was the work of art. Of course, it's gonna be B. And whoops, because without knowing. So it's like without. First of all, without knowing whether is that he said that the participants weren't told. They were not told, but they were not told beforehand, but they were asked to guess. So now, moreover, now it's yes, no given. Moffat's research may help explain people's reactions to EMI. People who thought the computer Moffat's research may help explain people's reactions to EMI. Um, he asked. So, like people who thought the composer was a computer tended to dislike the pieces more than those who believed it was human. So it provided a clue. Help explain. Help explain means provided a clue. The study of computer sciences over the Glasgow Collision provided a clue. He asked both experts may help people's reactions to EMI, and then rate how much they liked each one. People who thought the computer was a computer tended to dislike the pieces more than those who believed it was human. This was true even among the experts, who might have been expected to be more objective in their analysis. Yes, the answer is true. I mean, yes. Helped explain, provide a clue. The non-experts in Moffat's study all responded in a predictable way. Really? It doesn't talk about that. I'm gonna give it a no, not given. The non-experts in Moffat's study all responded in a predictable way. It doesn't talk about it. No, there's nothing about all responded in a predictable way. It doesn't. And also it doesn't only talk about non-experts. There's also experts and non-experts. Two of them. Justin Kruger's findings doubt, cast doubt on Paul Bloom's theory about people's prejudice towards computer art. Where does this prejudice come from? Paul Bloom of Yale University has a suggestion. He reckons part of the pleasure we get from art stems from the creative process behind the work. This can give it an irresistible essence, says Bloom. Meanwhile, experiments by Justin Kruger of New York University have shown that people's enjoyment of an artwork increases if they think more time and effort was needed to create it. Similarly, Colton thinks that when people experience art, they wonder what the artist might have been thinking or what is the artist is trying to tell them. It seems obvious, kind of subtle. Therefore, that with computers producing art, this speculation is cut short. There's nothing to explore. But as technology becomes increasingly complex, finding those greater depths in computer art could become possible. This is precisely why Colton asked the painting fool to tap into online. Uh, prejudice. I don't know. Justin Kruger's findings cast doubt. So yeah, it's kind of. So this is precisely why Colton asked the painting fool to tap into online social networks for its inspiration. Hopefully, this way it will choose themes that will already be meaningful to us. No, it doesn't cast doubt. First of all, it doesn't cast doubt. It says that meanwhile, people's enjoyment of artwork increases if they think more time and effort was needed to create it. And Colton thinks the same way. So it's like similarly here. So Paul Bloom has suggested that he's recognized part of pleasure we get from art stems from creative process behind the work. So the pleasure comes from the creative process behind the work. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it doesn't cast it out, but it actually supports. So there you go, guys. We have actually finished passage three this time. So yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to comment below, and I'll come back with a very clear approach. Of course, this is a practical. This is a very practical approach. It's very necessary for you to manage your time, understand the types of questions, the order of the questions, and so on. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.